Probably know today's my big day. Today is the day that I release. The paperback will be $20. The ebook will be $10. Anyways, I opened my door and when you realize that life quantified how much money it's costed me in terms of paying. The point with that is that each chapter is like its own mini book. What's up, guys? Coming to you not naked. I have a towel on, don't worry. Beautiful day. It literally feels like the first day of summer here in Cluj. It's probably what, like 25 degrees or something, or Celsius. I'd say in Fahrenheit probably around 80 degrees. Really, really nice and sunny. So obviously today is my big day. I'll have a post later about, man, my hair's a mess. I'm about to take a sauna, and then I have a presentation for class. Whatever. Making this video instead. So, I want to say, later on at 10 o'clock, I'm gonna release a post, and with that post will be the actual release of my book. My book will go live at 10 tonight, which will be incredible. It's something I've worked so much for. You have no idea how much heart and dedication. I know I say it, but I'm really fucking talking about like so many fucking hours, so many days, so much going over these chapters, deleting entire chapters, combining chapters, thinking about like going to sleep and having a part of my mind thinking like, man, I kind of came off a little bit arrogant, a tiny bit arrogant in this one part. Like, what's the line? Like, where can I be arrogant? Like, does that sound insecure? Like little things like that, or like, do I want, when was I too, like, when was I saying things that were a little bit too much for me? Maybe something that I don't really want to put out there, that's a little bit too, too personal, too what's the word? Yeah, too much for me to bear that I put out in the public. So my book has ended up being like a perfect balance, and really, this is the beautiful thing. So this is going to be like the little thumbnail. So my cat Felix, I'm pretty sure it was him. I woke up, I have these cards that I got when I was with my psychic Jacqueline at the Lake Shrine in LA. They're like cards, and you see the ones I got. So I didn't pull any cards today. I woke up, because this stack of cards, it's probably like 40 or 50 of them, are outside of my door, right? So the cats, they go crazy at night, they jump around, and I guess my cat Felix, because it's a long story. Basically, we've been like doing this thing on his fur, like it's like this like kind of not machine, but it basically takes off his fur's undercoat, and I've been in a funny way kind of like taking all the little pieces of his fur and combining them to try to make like a hat or something. And he found it, so he was playing with it. But he also pushed down 2 cards. So if you know anything about synchronicity and fate, you know that there's no fate. When you wake up on the day of your book's release and there's 2 cards that are pulled, that shit's fucking something. Especially when it's like, a deck of cards made by Paramahansa Yogananda, the person who wrote Autobiography of a Yogi. And this is his lake shrine that I was at. So this is crazy already. So which cards did I get? Guess which 2? Out of every fucking card in the set, charity and service. And I'm like blown away. I've read the cards. I've kind of gone through it, and I realized, my project, like it's not about selling. That's why I didn't really mind the fact that from the money standpoint, the reason I went with Amazon is simple. It's because they have a distribution. They had a distribution where I could create my book through their platform. Yeah. What's up, guys? So I just made a video and it got deleted, so I didn't have enough space on my phone. So let's try it again. Basically, I'm coming to you live outside, first sunny day of the year. It's like 25 degrees and sunny, probably around 80 in Fahrenheit. Not for sure. So yeah, as you guys probably know, today's my big day. Today is the day that I release my book, Pisces Live 9 Lives. It'll be released on Amazon internationally, so wherever you are in the world, Amazon delivers, I think, to most countries, if not all. I'm not really sure, actually, but you should be able to get my book regardless of where you live. I was able to order my author copies to Romania, and yeah. So it will be available for paperback and ebook. So just getting that out of the way. You know, the paperback will be $20. The ebook will be $10. So, you know, those are two different price ranges. Obviously, yeah, I could talk about the business side of that. It's not really the point of this video. I wanted to talk more about some very interesting synchronicities that happened when I woke up today. And that is that my cats, you know, they are known to go crazy at night. They just run all around my apartment. I have no idea what they do. I just hear the noises. It's like the three terrorizers. There they are over there, if you can see them. Anyways, I opened my door, and let's get this. I open my door, and what do I see? I see two cards on the ground. So it's just crazy that this, you know, this is a big day for me today. Like, it's a new moon. Well, happy new moon, everyone. But this is why, the reason I released this book today is because in astrology, when you're an astrologer, you learn astrology, you learn to time, that timing is everything. And you learn that there are certain days where the energy is perfect or so close to perfect for your specific birth chart as it regards different pursuits. So let's take mine for example. In astrology, your midheaven is a point, right? Mine's 23 Taurus, that speaks about your career and your ideal career. It's something related to your career and your life path in a bigger zoomed out vision. And then your part of fortune is a very important part in the chart. Everyone should know their part of fortune. Maybe I'll make a video about it soon. And the sign and house of that indicates basically like where you have a lot of joy. It's kind of like a mini Jupiter. It's not a real planet. It's done by like sun plus moon minus ascendant or some calculation of the big three. So it's kind of like the coming together of your big three, and it shows like the spot where you just work, you know, where things just are great, where there's lots of joy and positivity. It's just such a positive benefit point. So my part of fortune it falls exactly on my midheaven, which basically, you know, it's a very, very favorable aspect for public opinion, for, you know, for being able to do what I want to do, which is be a public figure in the non-ego sense of creating a huge platform in some way through my Leo energy, that all is just only a portal to my Aquarius North Node energy. So what that means is that unlike most people who want to be famous and who want to become big people in the world for you know, for just material gain and status, I could give a fuck. I mean, yeah, obviously I'm a human, so I care about these things, but this is what it's really about. Service and charity are the two fucking cards that my cat pulled for me the day of my book release. So, you know, this is what it says. And before I read them, I you know, waking up with this, it's no surprise. These are two, you know, a huge deck of tons of different types of cards, and these two are so similar, and it's so related to my North Node, which your North Node astrology is your highest mission, right? Your like what you're really here to do. That's maybe been difficult for you in other lifetimes. And for me, it's 6th house Aquarius North Node, which is about charity and service, about giving to the collective, right? And I think that this book, it does that, right? Because it is basically me, you know, if it's going through the chapter on, for example, like I had someone message me the other day, like a few people actually messaged me, like I made a poll on my status about the fear of death. And a lot of people, you know, messaged me saying, like I said, like, have you accepted, or have you, like, gotten past, I'm getting my son right now, gotten past the fear of death yet? A lot of people said no, right? I mean, most people said yes, the answer, but like there's some people that said no, and said, no, I haven't. And I said, okay, well, then you should definitely buy my book. Now, I don't say that in like a commercial, like a commerciant kind of like, buy my book salesman kind of energy. It's like, I literally have a chapter I worked my ass on where I don't only talk about how I overcame the fear of death, I give concrete examples. That's the one chapter where I even give the summary, you know, like a 2 or 3 page summary of one of the most important books I've ever read, just so it's just extremely clear how I did this. So, you know, that's one example. The second example, like, You go through the first few chapters, right? It's all about my life. You get to know about my crazy fucking life. How I went, like where I used to be. Because what you see now is not what always was, right? One second. Where's your on my face? So yeah, that's kind of what's going on in this book, is that I really take you through, because I feel like when people see me with my blonde hair and shit, and like I've been told this before, that I do come off like the kind of guy that's just always had everything good, you know, and there hasn't been struggle. I hide it well, but let me tell you, there's been motherfucking struggle to get to where I am today, which is still not even close to perfection, but you know, to have a relatively good life situation. I've gone through it. I've really gone through it. And this book will show you that. So, yeah. And we'll talk a little bit about other parts of the book. But let's get into these cards. So interesting. I pulled Charity. So it says here, these are written by Yogananda. So charity is born of sympathy. By sympathy, a quality of omnipresence, a person may transfer his consciousness to that within suffering men and experience as his own the griefs and limitations. It is then that the charitable desire to offer help spring forth. Selfishness cramps the omnipresent soul in a miserable prison of limiting material desires. You should desire salvation so that you may give to everyone else. You should desire to drink God's nectar of bliss so that you may share it with all. That is true charity. So that was for Charity, which is like, holy shit, that I pulled that the day of my book's release. And then there's service. And this is another really interesting one. Life should be chiefly service. Without that ideal, the intelligence that God has given you is not reaching out towards its goal. When in service, you forget the little self. You will feel the big self of spirit. As the vital rays of the sun nurture all, so should you spread rays of hope in the hearts of the poor and forsaken. Kindle... What is this saying? Alright, I guess I can't be in saunas making videos, so this is the third attempt. But basically, yeah, Amazon, I know it has a bad reputation, but it really worked well for my goal. You know, in the future, obviously, I may look at different directions, but this one was really just about getting the book out, making it available to as many countries as possible, and making it affordable. Because I think knowledge, you know, wisdom and all that, you know, I don't think we should have to pay so much for it. I don't think I was put on here in this planet to maximize profits, you know, and I think I've shown that with my astrology prices, with my Cosmos community $10 a month price, and with this book, because the amount of knowledge is ridiculous. And if you actually like quantified how much money it's costed me in terms of paying like teachers and even gurus and having my charts done and books I've bought and just my amount of time laboring, if I were to quantify that, it would be huge. So that's kind of, you know, what I'm feeling. So a few other things about the book. You know, it can help you with so much. I have a full self-help chapter. So like my book is, I guarantee you've probably never seen a book like this book. I'm not saying it's the best book ever. I'm just saying it's different, right? Venus in Aquarius, Mars in Aquarius. I'm always going to create something that's a little bit different, that's not really the norm. And in this book, the point with that is that each chapter is like its own mini book. So, for example, there's the self-help. I always called it Navigating Daily Life, but then I think I changed the name to like Daily Life Hacks or something, or Navigating. I forget what I actually ended up changing in chapter 2. But basically, this chapter is like literally broken up into like maybe 10 different parts, and each part is like a metaphor or like an expression, and it's like either an advice, something practical. Like a lot of spiritual books are not practical, right? They're not you know, giving you like tangible ways to get to where you want to get. They're just kind of giving like ideas. So that's what my book is all about, is that it's giving you, like I'm giving you like 6th house Virgo ways to implement spirituality, to implement higher wisdom, like for example, like not taking someone's low energy or someone's like negativity as bait, right? Your daily energy bandwidth. So a lot. There's so much psychology in there. So much I've learned from psychology. So much I've learned from just everything every environment I've been in, every person I've been influenced by. So you'll see there's like a part like it breaks down. Like if you were like to separate my mind into like 17 pieces, I'm not saying I didn't forget any, but 17 of the most important things to me, like animals, traveling, you know, there's two chapters on astrology, right? Like recovery, addiction, like all these things. Like this book is for anyone, right? This book is, you could, if you have someone in your family who's struggling, you know, who's a male or female, but I know males internalize a lot. You can give them this book, and if they actually read it, there's a chance that this might really actually help them, because this is written from the perspective of a dude who used to be a dude, who used to be a guy in a fraternity, who, you know, who used to party and drink and chase girls and watch. I still watch sports, and I'm not single, so I can't chase girls. No, I'm joking. But you get what I'm saying. Is like, I'm not your spiritual yogi wearing like a long white cloth, meditating every day, abstaining from sex and everything and drink. Like, no, that's not me. I'm gonna stay me, but I'm still spiritual AF. And yeah, I think this book will be great for a lot of people. I'm excited for you guys to get it. It's really my biggest accomplishment so far. I'm not going to go over every chapter. Like I said, you can get it either on paperback, which I highly recommend. You know, I put some work into that design too. And, you know, maybe one day I'll look back on this book and it'll be the first of many, many. Who knows what I'll do in my life. I feel like I'm just getting started of really getting confident, opening up some doors, and just going to continue to work as hard every day. Every year of my life, I'm going to work this hard. And it's maybe harder even, and I think it will get me somewhere. Who knows? I shoot for the stars, and I get to the sun. I don't fucking know what the expression is. Anyways, love you guys all. Thank you so much. So yeah, I will give up a grand post on my Instagram, my Facebook when the book is live. Stay tuned. It's exactly at the moment of the new moon. The reason for that is obvious. I want that Kazemi energy in my book. And I also want the Sagittarius rising. There's the Gemini energy. There's a lot that's beautiful. Neptune trine Mercury, I believe. So there's a lot that's really incredible about this timing for releasing the book, and that's why I speeded my ass up and had these 10 days of absolute hell. I'm talking like 10 to 12 hour work days every single day with school stuff still to do, a ton of school stuff. I've done it. Not for me. For those two cards I pulled. Service, charity. I'm out. Peace.